Hello, welcome back. I'm now going to talk you through workshop 3, and this workshop function looks at giving instructions. So I'll just show you the teacher's notes. So the aim of this workshop is to introduce and practice language and gestures for common classroom instructions. By the end of this workshop, participants will be able to use English to give clear classroom instructions, identify what makes instructions clear and understandable, and use gestures and other strategies to help convey instructions. So we're hoping that the teachers will understand how they can make their spoken instructions more easy to understand by using simple language. This is what we call grading language, so using very simple language and also accompanying gestures, so using hands to explain, listen, etc. By the end of this workshop, the participants will have reflected on their learning, identified areas for further study, and created an action plan. As ever, in every one of these workshops, the participants have to create an action plan whereby they take ownership of their learning and choose something that they want to try out for themselves. So in the key learning points, it says giving instructions in English. These are the advantages of using English for instructions. It gives learners an opportunity to practice and improve listening skills. Repetition of instructions helps learners acquire new vocabulary and phrases. So, piece of advice, effective instructions are simple and brief. Gestures and other strategies help clarify instructions and may avoid the need to use the student's first language. In the next box, in the next row, you can see the key language which will be introduced in this session, the language of giving instructions. Imperative forms. So this is the simplest way of telling somebody to do something. Stand up, please. Close the door, please. A more polite way would be to say, can you open your books, please? Or could you stand up, please? You will also practice prepositions of place, in, on, next to, near, at, etc. And you will revise some classroom objects and also extend their knowledge of their classroom objects. So some of these, a lot of them will be familiar: desk, chair, bin, board. Others less so. So test tube is specifically for science teachers. Keyboard, screen, obviously talking about computers there. And then finally, classroom actions, verbs and phrases. So common classroom actions: face the front, face the back, clean the board, touch the floor, etc. All of these are using the imperative forms: face the front, face the back. You could rephrase them more politely. Could you all please face the front, please? Okay, so that's the overview. The plan looks like this. Starts with a warmer, as always. So 10 minutes to get the participants back into the workshop atmosphere. Second stage is to introduce the aims, the structure and the aims, get the participants focused on the topic. So that's 10 minutes. Now, step 3 is a question. why should I use Classroom English? So for 20 minutes, and in this one, you'll get them to work in two groups, or in groups of A and B, and they will work on different questions and then exchange answers so the other group can expand upon the ideas that the first group did. So they'll write ideas on a sheet of paper and then swap with another group, and the other group will add to it. Step 4, prepositions of place. So they will look at a picture of a classroom and describe where things are to a partner. So they'll be working in pairs there. Step 5, listening to instructions. So here they will practice, they will be introduced, you will introduce, and they will practice common classroom language phrases. Step 6 is where they look at what makes clear instructions. So there'll be advice about what makes clear instructions. Keep it brief, make it staged, in order, keep the language simple, etc. Step 7 will be where you talk about using gestures, and teachers should do this a lot. They should use these kinds of gestures when you want somebody, you speak to me, I'm listening, cut something, these kinds of gestures. Step 8, they will practice. So this is a 20-minute section where you will get them to practice giving instructions, giving clear, simple instructions using gestures. So this will be in pairs and in groups, and they will give feedback to each other on their performance. Again, reflection and review at the end, so 10 minutes at the end for the participants to record any useful language and to draw up an action plan. So you can see the note there for stage 3, why should I use Classroom English? You will need large pieces of paper for the participants to write their ideas, their brainstormed ideas on. Reading activities for A and B are at the back of the participants' worksheets. Okay, so that is workshop 3, giving instructions.